The morning began with a scream that could have cracked marble. "Guards! Guards, help me at once!" I dropped my polishing rag and nearly spilled the silver polish across the table. That was the Empress, no doubt about it. Her voice had a pitch that could slice through the sound of battle horns. I'd been in the Imperial Palace of Verdonia for 2 weeks, long enough to know that the Empress only screamed for 2 reasons. 1, if she lost a diamond, and 2, if she'd trapped herself in something again. I bolted down the corridor, past portraits of frowning monarchs who all looked vaguely disappointed in me, until I reached the grand balcony. Sunlight glared off the gold banisters, and a dozen servants were already clustering there, whispering. Then I saw her, Her Imperial Majesty Empress Arabella III of Verdonia, bent awkwardly over the rail, her elaborate coiffure trembling like an endangered bird's nest. Her torso was on the balcony side. Her legs, encased in an ocean of satin and lace, were very much not, and she was stuck, utterly, gloriously stuck, Your Majesty. I said, bowing. "Are you? Do not comment," she barked, wiggling in indignation. "Just get me out!" "Yes, ma'am," I said, though I was already choking on laughter. The sight was too absurd. Her diamond-studded crown had tilted forward, dangling precariously from a curl of hair. Every time she shifted, the jewels glittered like a disco ball. "How on earth did this happen?" asked the head footman, his mustache twitching in disbelief. "I was inspecting the parade route," she snapped, and I leaned forward to wave to the gardeners. Then I became entangled. "Entangled," muttered the footman. "In the railing." The Empress's corset creaked ominously. "Yes, the railing has conspired against me. Why are you all just standing there? Do something!" I took a careful step forward, biting my lip to keep from laughing outright. I, Thomas Greaves, junior palace attendant and accidental confidant of the royal temper, was about to attempt the most dangerous mission in Verdonia, rescuing the Empress from herself. "Careful," she barked as I knelt beside her. "Do not wrinkle the gown, it's imported satin from Mirandia." "Yes, Your Majesty," I said, trying to find a safe way to approach without getting a heel to the nose. "If you could just shift a little to the left." "I cannot shift," she said, flailing. "My hoop skirt is wedged between the bars." I pressed my lips together. Right, of course. The hoop skirt, a common architectural hazard. Her glare could have melted the palace roof. "This is not funny." No, I said quickly. Utterly tragic. Historic, even. A muffled snort escaped me anyway. I pretended it was a cough. "Just let me see the angle here." It was impressive, really. The balcony rails were shaped like twisted vines of gold and marble, leaving narrow gaps between them, narrow enough to trap someone with enthusiasm and questionable balance. She must have leaned out just far enough for the frame of her skirt to slip through, then tried to straighten, only to discover the unyielding physics of fashion. "Perhaps if we loosen the corset," I suggested. "Loosen the— Are you mad?" she hissed. "Do you know what happens when one loosens royal corsetry? Chaos, mayhem! Wrinkles." I gave up reasoning. "All right, then. I'll try lifting." Her expression softened slightly. "Yes, lift with great dignity." I took a deep breath, grasped the edge of her skirt, and heaved upward. Nothing moved. Not even a centimeter. The railing groaned, but so did my spine. "It's not working," I said, panting. "It must!" she shrieked. "The people will arrive soon to hear my address. They cannot see their Empress hanging like a pheasant from the palace." Behind us, the headmaid stifled a laugh so violently she had to fake a coughing fit. "Perhaps," I said delicately, "we could remove the hoop?" Her eyes widened in horror. "Do you mean to disrobe me on the balcony?" "Not entirely. Just the bottom layer." "Absolutely not." "Your Majesty," said the footman dryly, "you are wedged in public view. There is little modesty left to preserve." She gasped like he'd slapped her. "How dare you, Bernard?" "I am an empress." "Yes, ma'am," he said. "An empress. In a railing. That time I couldn't hold it." A strangled snicker burst out of me, echoing around the marble. Her head whipped toward me. You're laughing." "No, Your Majesty." I lied instantly. "That was the railing. It creaked. The railing creaked like human laughter. It's a new architectural feature." She narrowed her eyes. "You're mocking me." "Never, Your Majesty." At that precise moment, the royal trumpets blared from below. The courtyard had begun to fill with townsfolk, waving flags and flowers for the annual Day of Unity parade. The Empress froze. "They're here!" she gasped. "Oh, heavens, they'll see me. Do something!" "Curtains!" shouted Bernard. "Draw the curtains." Two maids scrambled to pull the enormous velvet drapes across the balcony entrance, but the breeze fought them, flapping the fabric like sails. "Someone hold them shut!" I yelled, throwing my weight against the curtain edge. Outside, the crowd roared in greeting, completely unaware their ruler was currently dangling half over the balustrade like a misbehaving cat. "Thomas," the Empress hissed, "can you not lift me?" "I'm trying," I said, crouching to inspect the hoop's frame. The metal rods were twisted together, forming an unholy alliance with the railing's gold spirals. "Your Majesty, this may sound unorthodox, but I could, remove the lower rods with the fireplace tongs?" She glared over her shoulder. "You will not approach my royal person with tongs. Then I'm out of ideas. You cannot be out of ideas. You are a servant. You exist for ideas." Behind me, Bernard cleared his throat. "Perhaps a little olive oil, ma'am. Are you suggesting we grease the Empress?" He coughed. "Merely the dress, ma'am." Her lips tightened. "Do it." And that's how I found myself pouring imported olive oil over the most expensive gown in Verdonia. The smell alone was enough to haunt me forever. "Be gentle," she squeaked. "That's 50 yards of hand-dyed silk." "Yes, Your Majesty. I'll use the finest drizzling technique. Do not be witty in my hour of peril." "Wouldn't dream of it." I poured, Bernard pushed, and the Empress wriggled, an ungraceful, slippery dance of desperation. The metal squeaked, the gown slithered, and I was laughing so hard my knees went weak. "Thomas!" she shrieked. "Stop laughing." "I can't help it," I gasped. "You look like you're being birthed by the balcony." A collective gasp swept the room. For a heartbeat, I thought I was about to be executed. Then, against all logic, she laughed. It was a sharp, indignant laugh at first, but it grew, louder, rounder, until it became genuine. The servants froze, staring as the Empress of Verdonia laughed for the first time in public memory. "Oh, heavens," she wheezed. "You're right, I am. This is absolutely undignified." And then, miraculously, her gown popped free with a schloop sound that echoed like victory. She stumbled backward into Bernard's arms, crown askew, face red but triumphant. "Ha!" she cried. "I am free. The balcony shall remember this day." "Yes," I said, trying not to collapse from laughter. "It will go down in architectural history." Once she was safe, the Empress insisted on addressing the crowd immediately, still half-oiled, crown crooked, and laughter lines creasing her powdered face. Bernard and I tried to protest, but she waved us off. "No time for vanity," she said. "The people must see their ruler." We followed her to the balcony, carefully this time, and the curtains swept open to reveal the roaring crowd. Sunlight glinted on the gilded rails. I swear I saw her glance at them warily before stepping forward. "My beloved citizens," she proclaimed, arms wide. "Today we celebrate unity, perseverance, and flexibility." Bernard coughed, she continued unfazed. "For today, I have faced a personal struggle, a metaphoric entrapment, but through teamwork and laughter we have prevailed. Remember, my people, there is no obstacle too great, no railing too narrow for the spirit of Verdonia." The crowd erupted in applause. They had no idea what she meant, of course, but her energy was infectious. As the parade began, she turned to me with a gleam in her eye. "Thomas," she whispered, "you will never speak of this." "Of course, Your Majesty. Though," she added slyly, "I suppose it was rather funny." "It was magnificent," I said. That night, after the celebrations, the Empress summoned me to her private study. My stomach churned as I entered, half expecting punishment, half expecting a medal. She was alone, dressed in a simple robe, hair undone, looking far younger than she ever did beneath her crown. "Thomas," she said, smiling faintly, "you laughed at me." "Yes, Your Majesty. And you made me laugh." "That has not happened in years," I blinked. "I'm honored, ma'am. You should be. The court is terrified of me, you know. Even my own ministers tremble when I raise an eyebrow." "I can imagine," I thought, she said softly. "That was power. But perhaps laughter is too." She paused, studying me. "Do you know why I leaned over that rail?" "No, ma'am. To see the gardener's new tulip beds." I wanted to wave to them, just wave. But the gown, the corset, the crown, I forgot how heavy it all was. And then I was stuck, and I thought, so this is what it means to be trapped by your own grandeur. She gave a small, rueful laugh. Quite poetic, really. I hesitated. If I may, Your Majesty, maybe that's why they love you. You're grand, but also human. Even if the railing had to remind you, she grinned. Careful, Thomas. Flattery sounds suspiciously like wisdom, I bowed. Just honesty, ma'am. Then I shall reward honesty. She stood, drawing herself up with imperial grace. From this day forward, you are appointed royal attendant and advisor on matters of perspective. Matters of perspective? Yes, she said. When I begin